Hello, Mohammed. Thank you so much for calling in.
I know you're talking about Caitlin Clark today, but I just want to know how you're feeling now that it's, I don't know what, 4 or 5 weeks away from Inauguration Day, and just this massive defeat that you've been uh, so sure wouldn't happen.
That's absolutely not true. I said it was going to be a very close election. I never said it would be a massive defeat either way. This
Not
is what
once did you
I'm
ever say
answering your
something.
I'm answering your question. So put your Trump fingers down for a moment and listen and get the Trump wax out of your ears. I never said it was going to be a massive win for anybody. I said it was going to be a close election. It was going to be close. I said I was worried, and I said it could go either way, but I thought that Kamala Harris would edge it out. Okay, I was wrong on that. But when you say massive win, this is one of the closest.
Massive.
Well, you're wrong. This is one of the closest elections we've had in the history of this country. What are you talking about?
What are
Donald
you
Trump.
basing?
I'm
What are you
basing it on
basing
the
close
well,
off of?
sure.
Close in what
I'm
way?
so glad you asked that question, Mohammed, because Donald Trump won the popular vote by under 2%. He won all the swing states by around 250,000 votes that could have swayed the election one way or another. Now, I'm sorry that I have to educate people like you, but
No,
this was not a
no,
massive win.
I appreciate the lesson. How many of those votes came from California and New York,
What does
where
it
the
matter where it
population in those cities?
what is
So
it what does it
he
matter
won.
where it
When's the
came
last
from?
time a Republican won the popular vote?
When was the last time it's been a while. It's been a little while since that
Thank
happened,
you.
but that doesn't mean it was a massive win. I'm telling you
How
that
many
half the
states?
country
How
still
many
hates Donald
states
Trump.
did Kamala win?
I'm sorry?
How many states did Kamala win?
How many what does that have to do with your what you said in my
Because
answer?
because
Mohammed, does it not make any sense?
80% of the states went red. She
Mohammed,
lost every swing state.
Mohammed,
The blue wall was
Mohammed,
demolished.
Mohammed, let me
It
ask
was
you a question.
demolished.
Do you watch sports, Mohammed? Are you a sports fan?
I am a sports fan.
Okay, good. What team are you a fan of? Can you give me a team and a sport that you're a fan of? I'm going to try to make a sports analogy so even somebody like you might understand. What's your favorite?
Okay.
What's your favorite team?
What sport? Does it matter
I
what
don't.
sport
I
team
don't
I'm a
care.
fan?
Give me a. I don't care.
I'm a fan of Brazil, the soccer team.
Okay, I didn't know there's a team called Brazil. Okay, so Brazil, the soccer team.
Brazil's national soccer team. You've
Okay.
never heard of that?
Okay, so
I'm
we'll
the dummy
use
though. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm the dummy.
Brazil, the soccer team. So if Brazil, the soccer
Brazil's
team.
national team, just like the U.S. has a
Okay,
national team.
I think soccer might be a bad analogy. I wish you would name a sport like basketball or football or
Okay,
hockey.
basketball. Let's go with your team, the Boston Celtics.
Okay, so if the Boston, I wanted one of your teams, but that's fine. So if the
I like
Boston,
the Celtics.
if the
We
Boston
have that in common.
Celtics, if the Boston Celtics lost 3 or 4 games in a row, all buzzer beaters, would you say they're getting demolished? Or would you say, man, they lost some really close games and they just got a little bit unlucky there at the end? They lost, but they lost some really close games. Would you say they got demolished, Muhammad? Yes or no?
Okay, so if they've played a game in all 50 states and lost 40 plus of those games, yes, they got demolished.
Okay, so you're not making any sense with what you're saying. First of all, you're taking it's
Why,
not.
why
I'm
am I
talking
not making sense?
because I'm talking about every single person, no matter where they live in this country, because I don't care where they live in this country. One vote means just as much to me as another vote. I know you don't think that way, but Donald Trump, every single person that voted in this country, it was almost, I say almost, a virtual tie, meaning under 2%, Donald Trump won the popular vote. Now, Mohammed, I'll go slow for you so even somebody like you might be able to understand. What that means is, for the most part, almost 5 out of 10 people voted for Kamala Harris, a little bit under that, which means half the country almost did not want to see Donald Trump win, which means it was a very close election, which means nobody got demolished. Why is this so hard for you to follow?
I got you. I'm going to use your same analogy. Okay. If
What did I wait? Hold on a second. Did I? What I just said? Not.
I'm going to use your same analogy.
Did I just
So
wait? Let's stop with analogies.
Let's take the blue wall, and let's say that your team has won in those states for the last, I don't know how many decades, and owned the blue wall. But now they go there and they can't win. You don't would that be a massive upset in your view? It'd be like the I don't know, the '85 Bears playing a college team and being beat. You wouldn't say that's a massive upset?
I'm trying to speak in layman's terms that hopefully somebody like you, who's obviously a MAGA supporter, will understand, but you're really struggling to understand what I am trying to say here. Now, I'm going to speak some facts to you.
I'm saying it was a massive defeat.
Okay, and I'm saying you're a right, and I'm saying you're a right wing, and I'm saying you're a right wing buffoon, and I'll prove it. In 2020, did you think Joe Biden had a massive win? He won by millions and millions and millions of votes. Were you saying the same thing? Were you calling into conservative radio shows and saying Joe Biden had a massive win? Did you say that with Barack Obama when he defeated John McCain and Mitt Romney by millions and millions of votes? Did you say Hillary Clinton, she lost the election, but boy, she won the popular vote? Did you call one conservative radio station in 2020 and say Joe Biden had a massive win? Because according to you, Joe Biden did, in fact, a larger win than Donald Trump. He had a massive win. He won most of the swing states. He won by millions and millions of votes, far stronger than Donald Trump. Did you say that Joe Biden had a massive win?
I did not call any shows, but I don't disagree with that. I think he did have a massive win.
Why didn't you call shows saying that then? Are you showing your bias right now in real time? Why didn't you call shows praising Joe Biden? What a massive win for the Democrats. But all of a sudden we have one of the closest elections in our lifetime, and you want to call in and gloat and talk about...
Wrong. You're mischaracterizing.
No, I'm not.
That's your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. No, it's not. According to the... No, I'm right. I'm right.
He dominated the map. And
Richard Nixon,
vote.
in our lifetime, and expanding our lifetime, in the history of this country in the last 140 years, there have been 3 really close elections. Hear me out. Richard Nixon, John F. Kennedy, and guess which one? Orange turd Donald Trump, the man who you support, the adjudicated rapist. So what do you have to say about that?
So the hanging chads wasn't close?
The hanging chads, we're talking about the popular vote. We're not talking about in Florida with the Electoral College. Do you not understand what I'm saying here? When I say close election, I'm not talking about Florida and what took place there. I'm talking about as a whole, the popular vote. If we're talking about the popular vote, this was one of the closest elections, not only in our lifetime, but the history of this country. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Do you think the earth is flat too? Why don't you tell me why you voted for an adjudicated rapist? Let's have that conversation. Why did you vote for Donald Trump?
Was he convicted of rape?
Didn't say that. I said it. I said adjudicated rapist. That doesn't mean he was found criminally negligent for rape.
You often talk about what proof.
Well, why don't you ask the jury who decided that Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll and was found liable for it? They're the ones who saw the evidence, but I suppose you think that's fake also. Right?
I do believe that he was unfairly prosecuted.
Oh, what a shocker. I'm shocked that a MAGA supporter thinks that Donald Trump has been treated unfairly. What about the other 25 women? Do you think they're all lying too?
Here's what I'll say. When your predictions, your newest predictions don't come true about how he's going to wreck the economy and wreck the country. I know you don't wish that on the country, but you know it's going to happen because you're Nostradamus.
What did he do? What did he do? What did he do when he went in his first term? What did he do in his first term?
I will make sure to call in again.
Yeah, but when it does,
words once again.
But when it does happen,
Kamala would win.
But when it does happen, you won't call into conservative radio shows and complain about Donald Trump.
You've proved my word. I will call your show.
Oh, you'll call my show. Well, I don't do a conservative show.
Well, listen, I've been very complimentary. I enjoy your show, and I enjoy your position.
Wow, well, that makes me, well, you know what? That makes me so warm and fuzzy.
Listen, you love to call us all out when we're wrong. I'm calling you out when you're wrong, and you don't like it.
I'm about to give you a compliment now. It makes me so warm and fuzzy inside that a man with an IQ of about 20 loves my show. Really, it makes me
generous.
It makes me feel really good that somebody that is very slow and doesn't understand math and probably doesn't have an education still takes the time to take his little Trump fingers to pick up the phone and call Brian to harass him and tell him how Donald Trump won in a landslide.
Listen, I'm not harassing you. I find it very comical that she had $1.4 billion. Her burn rate was $100 million a day, and she still lost.
What do you do?
She's in debt.
What do you do for a living?
Great campaign.
What do you do?
Campaign.
What do you do for a living?
I tell you what, I manage my money better than she did.
Do you? I doubt that. I doubt that.
If I ran for an election with $1.4 billion with no recognition, I bet you I could have probably.
I don't think
you could have probably won.
I don't think you would. I don't think you'd be able to raise more than $20.
She was horrible. All you did was
why was she horrible?
Regurgitate all the Democratic talking points, and you wanted it to happen so bad because you hate Donald Trump so much, and you were wrong. Just say that. Just say,
I was wrong about what?
The man.
I was wrong about what?
I dreamt and hoped and prayed that he would lose, and he didn't. And now,
first of all,
you're stuck with the guy for 4 years.
unlike you and your sexual escapades, I've never dreamt about Donald Trump. God forbid I think about the dreams you have about Donald Trump and him being on top of you. I don't dream about obese orange
I'm sure
orangutans. No, I haven't. You know what I dream? You know what I dream of? I'll tell you what I dream about. I dream like people like you will be deported. That's what I dream. I dream people like you that are MAGA morons are all deported and leaving the country. That's what I dream about. You think that'll happen? That's what I dream about.
I hope when he does it to my whole family,
Yeah.
not just me by myself. Because I don't want to get separated.
Yeah. Well, according to Donald Trump, he wants to deport your entire family, right? He'll deport your entire family.
And you know what? If they want to stay together, they should all go together.
You want to know what I dream? I dream about there's less right-wing turds like you in this country that don't understand basic math and skills. You were probably one of those people holding your Confederate flag at one of his rallies, holding up a sign that says, F Joe in the hoe.
5 minutes to yourself, pull up the map.
Yeah.
And look at how much of the country actually supported
Well,
it.
we all know you don't do that.
He won the popular vote. A Republican has not done that in decades.
In closing, I will say this. In closing,
in terms of how the election cycles have been going, yes, this was a massive defeat.
Okay, yeah,
it's a massive defeat.
Right.
I don't want to admit it, and that's fine.
I think the only
you don't have to.
I think the only thing that's massive in this conversation is your stupidity. But I'll leave you with this: when you have 5 minutes of your time, we all know what you do, pleasuring yourself to your orangutan Cheeto Jesus poster. Have a nice day, Muhammad. I appreciate the phone call, my friend. Thank you for the kind words. I'm so glad that idiots like you listen to this show because you make it more entertaining. Thank you, sir. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Tracy. Tracy is next up.